Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. So apparently some information about the Foundry raid has been put out. This is data mined information. And I saw a link today on one of the Discord channels that I follow, and somebody had it on there. I think it's now public knowledge. I'm not going to put any of that on the screen here because I don't necessarily care to put it on the screen on a video on my channel. If you want to look at that information, you can find it. You can go on Twitter, look up division followers. I think Marco has it on his division, on his Twitter page, Marco Style. And so you should be able to read about it there. Now, the contents, though, on the other hand, are quite interesting. Now, this is not something that I think is game breaking or it's, providing too much information on a surface level anyways on how to beat the raid, because sure, it has lore stuff in it. Like, you see some lore stuff. You see the raid boss abilities in there. That's the one that is a little concerning for me. Each of the bosses are actually listed, their names, their lore, and then their abilities and how many abilities they actually have. And if you're somebody who is a keen division player, you almost can, tell how these bosses are going to be because of the enemy archetypes and some of the things that they're doing. You can kind of guess and be at least 70 to 80% certain that your guess is going to be correct. Then in seeing the abilities, you can also kind of get clued in on how you should build. Is this a bad thing? No, not in my opinion. I'm not going for world first, so I honestly don't care about this world first thing. Honestly, it doesn't really bother me. I think maybe people who might be trying to go for worlds first, they might think, okay, whoever mined this data might have some other interesting numbers or even more interesting data that they probably did not want to share so that they didn't get into trouble, if you understand what I mean. So who knows? They might be wanting to go for the raid themselves. And I guess the competition and whatever it is now much more increased. But then there's also the side of mechanics that they will probably not have been able to see as well. Like, just imagine even if they had mined data for Operation Dark Hours, none of them would have been able to see anything like Buddy and Lucy, Boomer, or even Razorback. Like, you could probably know the bosses and know their archetypes and know, their abilities. But how could you have been able to figure out that Razorback will require for you, all four of you, to stand in a circle simultaneously, and then when a little hatch opens up, blow it up or shoot it down, and then when you shoot it down, throw a frag grenade in there? I mean, there's no way you would have known. No, that was something that was done over time with trial and error with many, many raid groups. So I think many people can still be confident that they're going to be going into this without any kinds of spoilers, except maybe somebody has data that we're not privy to know what exactly is also going on. And the reason I'm talking about this too is not because I want to spoil it, it's because I want to just let you know, if you are probably looking towards playing this raid, you might want to go ahead and look at this if you don't care about spoilers. If you care about spoilers, don't touch it. Don't look at it at all. Pretend like it doesn't even exist, because right now a lot of people are bored and looking a little deeper into things. And if you look at everything going on, in our world today, a big video game that was supposed to come out at the end of this month that was canceled indefinitely and has now been rescheduled to come out in June was leaked. I mean, if you don't know what game this is, it's The Last of Us 2. These leaks, don't go watch them if you don't care about leaks, but the leaks have basically disappointed, I would say, about 80 to 90% of the fan base. People who are eagerly waiting for this. You should see their reactions online. I mean, some people are still saying they're going to stick with it and play it, but there's no way, sales are not going to get hit from what happened. And one of the really important things that I always tell myself is when I have complaints about the division, I just kind of take a step back and I look around. The gaming world right now is in a mess. We as gamers have made these companies exceedingly wealthy, and many of them have not, they've not reciprocated that by providing value. Instead, many of them have found or have tried ways to gouge people out of their money, push random agendas, or provide subpar work. But at the same time, you also have to look at a company like Ubisoft. They've had their fair share of trying to be shady and not getting away with it. But there is something about them that I don't see with a lot of other gaming companies. And I'm not saying, others aren't there. They usually stick with their games. They stick with their titles. EA has just announced end of support for two games, okay? 2 games that came out after the Division 1. And the Division 1 is still a live game. Battlefield 5, end of support, is announced. Battlefront as well, Star Wars, end of support. And so I don't know if it's the Battlefront that came out in 2017 or if it's the old Battlefront, but I think it's the regular Battlefront. I don't know. The one that just came out with the DLC a few months ago. Maybe that's it. Maybe if it's not, correct me in the comment section. But it's interesting to see that a game like that, they insulted their fans on the fore-end and then eventually ended the game because it failed. Whereas the Division, sure, it made a lot of money, but we never heard the developers openly insult their community. I mean, even if they probably under their breath or maybe when they're drinking at the bar, they're probably cussing us out. They have not gone on any forums to just talk nonsense at us because Ubisoft still has a level of hunger that EA doesn't have. EA has made billions of dollars on Ultimate Team. EA is banning their content creators, like maximum ban. There's a guy called Kurt4 something. If you play FIFA, if you've played FIFA before, you've heard of this guy, and he got banned. And I'm mentioning these things because sometimes these comments will prop up and saying I'm always batting for Massive or whatever. I'm batting for the Division. I'm Team Division, and I'll bat for this game because I've looked around and I've just seen that the gaming industry right now is heading for this weird awakening. Like it's about to get woken up really, really suddenly. And I think games like the Division, I think they fell in line because we continue to keep our, as the community that played the game, we continue to keep the narrative strong about the game's, foundations, about the game's problems, about the game's integrity. We have continued to press down on this game. But at the same time, we also have to take a step back and look and see. And so I count my blessings. And I think that's how I'm able to stay positive because, this game has its problems. I mean, stuff like this getting out there, who knows what else is out there? I mean, who knows if somebody, has more information and this is all they're just trying to put out there and they probably know how to beat the raid. And then maybe when the world's first reaches, they probably have information like this. I don't know. So it's a very weird position we're in today in gaming. It's a very weird position, but this is not intended to spoil the fun, in my opinion anyways, of the raid, because the way these MMO games work anyways, only a very select amount of people are going to be trying to do worlds first. And to be honest, most of us in the player base don't even care if they get worlds first or not. I think many other concerns are there. Like, in my opinion, I think there needs to be a matchmaking system with the regular raids. Many people, even people in my friend circle, have pushed back against this idea. But to be very honest, matchmaking provides availability of players, especially when there are downtimes in the game. Right now, the Division is in a downtime. A lot of people are putting the game down, picking up other games. Even I myself, I'm picking up some other games because, I'm kind of ahead on my content. And so I have a little opportunity to pick up some other games, explore them and play them, but still people are still playing. That doesn't mean like people have left. I know some of you are going to, oh yeah, did you see people didn't leave. People are there playing, go into Discord, matchmake. On PC anyways, there's nothing I matchmake for that people don't invite me for, even legendaries. It's weird. Like, people are still playing the game because there's just a lot of hardcore gamers out there. And there are people who are, I think I heard people say a lot of the $3 crowd have left. I don't think that's the case. I think many of them probably have not even gotten around to playing the game. And some are just picking the game up or are still on the move from level 1 to 30 and figuring the game out and actually learning the game. I'm seeing comments on my video saying, oh, I just reached World Tier 2. And I'm like, what's that? It's just, we just moved. It's been a while since we've dealt with World Tiers. And there are people who are like, yeah, I'm still, I'm making my way up to the World Tiers. And they're going to probably reach level 30, reach World Tier 5, and then make their way to Warlords of New York. And before they get there, it'll probably take another few months. So that's probably why we're not, many of us that are playing on the level 40 side, that's probably why we're not seeing them in the matchmaking pool, because many of them will probably have the XP booster, but they've also asked me, is it worth using the XP booster right now? And I've told many of them, no, stick with the game from level 1 to 30 so that by the time you get to, New York, you're already kind of, you're already well acquainted with the game and the mechanics and the systems so that you're a more competent player. It's players like that we would want to jump in a group with us. Sure, they may have a low shade, level, but if they have competency, shade level does not matter for anything. So that's my little spiel. Sorry to inconvenience you with my with my rants. I appreciate your time and audience. I just wanted to give you that information on the forend and put a little bit of my own take on all of this, and say, even in our community, we get a data mine, and everybody is still kind of chill. I think we're just in a decent spot. I'm not saying we're in a great place. The division has a lot of potential and a lot of growth. If the developers will continue to put their head down and focus, I think they can deliver a very good product with this game and this franchise. So that's it for me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.